miracle serum. Miracle serum.
We keep having all these problems. How we gonna solve them? Every day it's the same thing. All these unsolved issues, I guess it's official. Here we go again, the same old thing. And I'm tired of arguing and lying. So goodbye.
Hello, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sins, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is July the 6th, 2024, and today the topic is Unreasonable Expectations. Happy Saturday, everybody. Yes, happy Saturday. I hope you guys had a wonderful Friday. Mine was just fine. Yes, mine was good overall. Highlight today is I did an episode of the GSL Talk Show. An episode of the GSL Talk Show came out last night. I did not have my business meeting as I thought I was going to do. But outside of that, that's what my Friday looked like in a nutshell. To be honest with y'all, man, I thought there was going to be no juice today because it is literally after 2:30 p.m. And y'all know I usually do this in the morning most of the time, except for that random time I did it at 9, 9 p.m. But yeah, this morning I went and we did the soccer thing with NJ and all of that. And by the time I got there, expectations was on my heart and mind, but I don't know if I just was, if my mind was all over the place to where I thought about it, but then I didn't think about it, if that makes any sense. So I was thinking like, okay, because it wasn't really resonating. Every time I looked up something, it wasn't necessarily standing out to me to share. So I was like, I don't know. So by the time we got back home, we went to eat lunch, came back home. Again, I was thinking that I was going to get ready to post like, hey guys, sorry about the juice today or something like that. But ultimately it came back on my heart and mind about expectations. So I decided to go deeper again. And I ended up going to one of my oldie but goodie resources. I know y'all probably haven't heard me talk about it in a while, but it is good old gotquestions.org. And I plugged in, I think I ended up Googling and whatnot, and it led me to gotquestions.org and an article centered around what does the Bible say about expectations. And so I listened to that article and it resonated with me to be here right now. So, hey, to God be glory. You got a Saturday juice. Here it is, y'all. I think we all at some point have dealt with expectations. I know I've dealt with, putting expectations on me. And I know I came into my marriage with a lot of expectations. Expectations, right? If you're not familiar with the word, I did write down the definitions, and I also looked up the definition of unreasonable. So let's start there, okay? Unreasonable says not guided by or based on good sense. And then that second definition says beyond the limits of acceptability or fairness. So unfair expectations is what I'm receiving. That's what unreasonable means ultimately. Let's look at expectation before I say my 2 cents out here. Okay, so expectation says a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future. So I think we all have dealt with this one way or another. Again, has someone ever put expectations on you? Have you ever put expectations on someone else? Do you have expectations of God? And then obviously God has expectations of us. So this conversation can go in a variety of ways, right? But I mean, without again me putting on any personal opinions, I'm just going to share with you guys the things that were standing out to me. And so as I was listening to the article, there were things that were standing out. And so when I went back to it and reread it for myself, I felt led to write down some of the things, some quotes and things like that from the article that was really standing out to me. So one of the first things that I came across this morning that I felt led to write down was that expectations based on human assumptions can cause trouble. Ain't that the truth? It can definitely cause trouble one way or another. Now, again, I don't know what that means for you, right? But again, I think it can go both ways, right? Whether you're putting expectations of someone else and then you get disappointed, or vice versa, right? Someone has put expectations on you that either it's not even fair for you to fulfill, or whatever the case may be. So yeah, human expectations expectations based on human assumptions can cause trouble. It pretty much led me to this verse. It was Proverbs 18:13, and it says, "He that answereth a matter before he heareth it, it is folly and shame unto him." This is the only verse that I felt led to write down this morning, y'all. So, I mean, I guess we need to really, really think about this verse and reflect on it and let it marinate on our hearts, souls, and minds. But I definitely have observed plenty of things like this. I mean, I feel like, oof, without me saying who or whatever the case may be, I'll just say there's individuals that I've noticed, like anytime you can bring up an idea or whatever the case may be, and it's like you automatically they got feedback, they got like what they think is going to happen. And my whole thing is, listen, we don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like sometimes this is where the walking by faith comes in, right? This is where the quote unquote risk taking and things like that come in. This is where the trust for the Lord and things like that comes in. Depending obviously on what we're talking about. I mean, you don't want to just do that with any and everything, but at the same time too, I don't want to be somebody that's like thinking myself out of whatever the Lord's trying to do, right? This is reminded me of I was watching some of my videos from back in the day, and back when I used to do Miracles Mirror, and I don't know if you guys are still interested in that or not. I actually added it to the God Sex and Love YouTube channel just to see, if y'all are interested in like me vlogging my life and stuff like that. But anywho, I was watching some of those videos from back in the day, and one of them I was talking about me when I was, finding gigs and really was, searching out acting opportunities and things like that. And how at some point I was like, you know what, I have to stop, like, I guess quote unquote judging the character, whatever it is. I gotta just audition. And if it's for me, it's for me. If it ain't for me, it ain't for me, and go from there versus like making assumptions, right, about this or that. Obviously, depending on, again, being led by God and all of that type of stuff. So, yeah. I mean, it says again, "He that answereth a matter beforehand or before he heareth it, it is folly and shame unto him." It's so, I think again, a lot of us operate in this, a lot of us do that, and we talk ourselves on blessings, right? We walk ourselves on blessings. We sometimes don't even put forth effort or whatever the case may be to do the will of God, right? God can be telling us, "Hey, go left," and then we'll be sitting here questioning, "Should I go left? I don't know, because if I go left, then there's boulders and whatever over there, and oh, it don't look," and all the different type of things. And it's like, okay, but I told you to go left, be obedient, like, and not me. I'm saying this is what the Lord is saying and stuff. And so, but anyway, we're talking about expectations today. So I guess I say that or share that part to say, like, again, let's not make assumptions and thinking that we know things of that nature. But anyway, let me keep going with things that were standing out to me. Okay, like I said, that was the only verse that I felt led to write down, but there were quite a few other quotes that I felt led to write down that was a part of that article. And so one of them was saying, we should discuss with our loved ones what our expectations are and what theirs are. Yeah. Having conversations. Lord knows, I was telling a friend of mine earlier. I'm like, man, there's some things I am tired of talking about, and I get that. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I'm always somebody that's like pouring out like how I feel, or pouring out like just trying to get ahead of, I guess maybe my own expectations, right? Or maybe again being this quote unquote watchman person, seeing things down the line and trying to like stop or do my part in keeping some of those things at bay or whatever the case may be. And so I'm always trying to be an open book or communicate and things like that, and that can get difficult, right, when you feel like you're not getting that back or you know what I mean. And so I get it. This might be pulp right now. You might not want to hear, oh, you can go talk it out or whatever the case may be. But I mean, communication can be key in a variety of relationships, whether again it's marriage, family, friends, all these type of things, versus like you have an expectation of somebody and you never communicate the situation. and then vice versa. Like they got expectations and they never communicated to you. How is that fair? You know what I mean? So again, that's unreasonable. So that's something to think about. Hopefully to help us with this conversation of unreasonable expectations. But here's another quote that was standing out to me as well. Some guidance for us, right? It's saying here, if Jesus can forgive the men who called out, crucify him, we can forgive our loved ones and friends who harbor wrong expectations of us. So forgiveness, y'all. Ooh, that's that other biblical. It's not just a biblical word, but the Bible obviously has a lot to say about forgiveness, and it does seem to be a huge thing. Yeah. I mean, sometimes again, when someone puts unreasonable, unrealistic, unfair, right, expectations of us, it might be hard to forgive that person. It might be hard to again, humble ourselves to say, you know what, I apologize, or whatever the case may be. But we should put that into practice. Because again, I mean, who are we to not forgive when God has forgiven us, So anyway, here's something else that was standing out to me, y'all. It was this quote that says, remember that people are different. Yes, people are different. Yes. I have to remember that all the time, um, and I'm doing my best to work on that and keep that in my heart and mind, because again, like there's some things I don't understand about life or about things, and I'm just like, man, look, like because you just think it'll just be easier if everybody had my point of view, but that's not the case. Everybody does not have your point of view, right? And everybody is different, and so we have to be remember that, and then also be flexible. That was another thing that was standing out to me as well. Understand that people are different and be flexible. Like, I mean, I don't have anything to add to that. Like, can we understand the importance of being flexible here? I mean, obviously, again, if you keep on trying to go and force someone to live according to you and your expectations, then I mean, again, that's unreasonable. That's unfair, and everything like that. So a lot of times we have to learn to be flexible. And then I think the last quote that I felt led to share was saying, when based on God's word, our expectations will never fail to be met. So, I mean, the only expectations that we can truly have and know we can depend on is the Lord. And I know that can be difficult because we like, yeah, well, we can't see him, all the different type of things. But that's the only expectation that we can, like, I guess, take to the bank, as they say. All the rest of the expectations, like I said earlier, and the expectations based on human assumptions and what some other humans gonna do for you or whatever you think. I mean, that's only gonna lead to, let me see, trouble. And there was something else that the article said, but you guys can go read that article and check it out and see what all I had to say. But it's only going to lead to trouble and hurt feelings and all those different type of things. So I hope this juice has encouraged and inspired you this morning, because I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't have too much else to say. Like, again, we can all be a little bit unreasonable, and when we all have dealt with expectations to some extent. So if you're listening to the sound of my voice today and this is something that is resonating with you, I hope and pray that you feel led to go deeper. Check out that article at gotquestions.org. Again, it is called what was it? What does the Bible say about expectations? Like I said, I was trying to look up several verses about this as well, but I didn't feel led to write down anything else. But feel free, man. Go check out all the other resources that I always share on here and see if anything else is resonating with you about this conversation. But that is ultimately the juice. Now, one thing I will say, man, today's prayer meditation encouraged me. Not prayer meditation. I did listen to it, but I listened to it twice and I don't even really remember it. But the Bible verse of it today was encouraging to me. It doesn't necessarily have to do about expectations, but I felt like it was a little reminder for me to stay on track. So here it is, 1 Corinthians 15:58. It says, therefore, my brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning, this afternoon. Uh, Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all on Monday, if the Lord's will. Bye bye. And there you go. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice. Hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Thank you so much for listening, watching, subscribing, and sharing all those wonderful things. Thank you to the person that tuned in live. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. If you want to talk to me while I'm here, feel free to leave me a comment and hopefully I'll see it before I go. If not, no pressure. No pressure. I'm just saying I see you, see me. But anywho, I'm glad I went ahead and did the juice, man, because at first I'm like, man, I ain't got no juice. I ain't listen, Lord, do you want me to do the juice today? Is it a freestyle day? Like I said, we went and did soccer, we went and did lunch, we did all this other stuff. And I just was like, and then by the time we came back home, my mind was not probably where it needed to be and stuff like that. And I was about to just either zone out or go to sleep or something. But I pushed on through. The Lord gave me expectations again, and then here I am, and here this conversation went. But I hope again it was encouraging and inspiring. And yeah, man, you have a wonderful weekend, and I look forward to talking to you all on Monday, if the Lord's will. Bye.